What's up, everybody? It's your boy. I surprised myself. It's your boy Keefy. I'm back with another GhostCultKeefy.com live stream thing happening right now. It has been a week. It has been a day, but I wanted to get in this one because it's timely. Holiday is here. I don't know if everybody is celebrating. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. But I wanted to get in and talk about Record Store Day, Black Friday, especially pertaining to metalheads. I feel like this is we're a little underrepresented sometimes in some of these things, and I want to make sure that we get our say in our day. So if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We are a small business like everybody else, and even though we have some advertising on our website, we are not corporate backed, and we do this because we love music, especially rock and metal, and some other stuff too. We don't do gatekeeping here like some other people, but I digress. The best experience for this, if you're watching, is Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. I'm also hanging out on TikTok. El Jefe, what's up? Only Dead Bands, what's up? Thanks for being here. A little bit of a late night live stream just with the short week for me, and probably you. I wanted to jump on now and talk about some of these things so I didn't miss the chance. We're going to do some vinyl unboxing. I have my hands on some Record Store Day vinyl you have not seen yet because they're not out yet. They were sent to me early. I have a special one and an explanation to go along with it. And we're going to look at some vinyl. And then I'm going to run through what your pull list should be if you're into Record Store Day Black Friday. I will talk about Record Store Day and Record Store Day Black Friday at length. So if you're into it, hang out, ask questions, join the conversation, ask me things. I will be back on. I'll do some programming notes also. I'll be back on tomorrow with my usual Thursday show on Wednesday so I can get out of town as I'm spending the holidays with family. Steve is here. Brant's World is here. JFab, what up, son? Good to see you. Eustace Ingram is here. I think you've been here before. So what are we talking about? We're talking about Record Store Day Black Friday. Record Store Day happens twice a year. There's one in April. There's one on Black Friday this week. Conceived of 20 years ago to drive businesses up, to help small businesses. And I implore you, as much as the big chain record stores do have usually a lot of what you're looking for, when possible, please support the small record business in your community and shop small. And if you must order, mail order because of where you live or whatever, think about small businesses when you do this, because that keeps people going. Talking Geek is here. What's up, Talking Geek? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, we're here. We're talking about all the things. Jump in the comments, ask a question, be part of this conversation. If you collect vinyl, tell me what you like. If there's a vinyl you wish you had, you don't have, tell me what your passion is, and I'll give you some feedback on it. Tell me what your favorite vinyl in your collection is. I will tell you mine. We also have a vinyl podcast on top of Ghost Cult being a rock and metal news source and interview channel. We also cover vinyl very heavily. I will probably have at least one or two more live streams and video unboxings and things this year. So stay tuned and keep it close. Follow us on our socials. Like and subscribe here wherever you're watching this. That's how you can support us to keep doing what we do. So Record Store Day Black Friday is upon us. And again, I was sent some things, just some minutiae about us. We ran our new interview with Billy Grazia Day of Biohazard. Hey, Gary, welcome. I just responded, I think, to one of your comments on our other video. Rip Ozzy forever, bro. I'm never going to be okay. I've been having the hardest time since he died. There was some major deaths this year in the world. They all kind of affect me differently, but Ozzy really hurts, bro. And I really appreciate you for being back, Gary. You've been a supporter of ours, and I thank you. If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. But I see you enough that I feel like you're at least seeing our stuff in your algorithm. So new interview with Billy Biohazard this week. New interview tomorrow with Grid Failure. Recent interviews include Testament, Soulfly, Evoken, Paradise Lost. We talked to the biggest and smallest in the metal and rock community. We've had some bangers. We interviewed Ozzy. It's like one of the highlights of my journalistic career is I got to interview Ozzy when God Bless Ozzy Osbourne came out. We've interviewed Alice in Chains, a whole ton of bands. All right. Also, I'll be back tomorrow for my weekly live stream. Once again, probably tomorrow afternoon about 3:30 Pacific. And then I have another podcast to record, and then I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm going to go spend the holidays with my girlfriend's family for the first time. Wish me luck. I should be doing fine. They seem to like me. So, what else? Again, if you're feeling tipsy and generous, we appreciate tips of any and all kind in the tip menu. You can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. We take PayPal. We take Venmo. We take super likes and super thanks here on YouTube. We are getting ready to launch channel memberships. I don't know if that's a thing for you if you subscribe to channels. We have already started to upload our video interviews way early so you can enjoy them before anybody else, before they go to Blabbermouth, before they get shared by Metal Sucks and Metal Injection, and all those are peer sites. But yes, we're going to start launching a membership thing soon, and I think people will enjoy what they get. I'll also do custom live streams. I've been fiddling with our Substack to include that as part of the deal. So again, if you're feeling generous, why not give us a tip? Every little bit helps. They help the beer and vinyl fund. They help pay the server fees and things like that. Keep the lights going. And here's our PayPal. Captain Red Eye is here. What's up? Lungs in Ruin. What's up? Good to see you. We're here talking about Record Store Day, Black Friday vinyl. And also, we're giving away tickets to see God Forbid. So we do giveaways and contests all the time. We're going to do at least one more this year where we give away a bunch of some fun things. But we're giving away tickets to see God Forbid in Brooklyn. Obviously, if you can't get to Brooklyn, maybe don't try to win. But if you think you live in the tri-state area or Philly or Boston and you can get down, God Forbid, Bleeding Through, Darkest Hour, and Nora, not completely in that order, but what a sick, absolute sick show. They're doing 3 of these. The Brooklyn one is the one we're giving tickets away to. So there's our Cash App. So let's talk vinyl, man. I am personally a big vinyl collector. I never thought vinyl was going to make such a huge comeback, but obviously the last 10 or 15 years, vinyl has been back with a vengeance. You'd be surprised to learn that some of your favorite records, yeah, Tipsy, haha. What's up, Lungs in Ruin? And Brink Ben is here. What's up? We're big vinyl fans. It seems like a lot of people, I know there's like a statistic out there that 50% of people that do collect vinyl don't really play them. They just buy them to support bands they love, which I think is fucking cool. At the same time, we don't really cater, like I understand that everything in these very tough economic times, people are looking to flip things for money, whether it's crypto or NFTs or whatever it is. I'm not really into flip culture. If you are, that's cool. I'm not against capitalism. Mostly I am. I think it's, dying off, but I do like records. This is a passion of mine. One of the few things I love is music. And Andrew Contreras is here. So we're going to talk about vinyl. Once again, if you've got vinyl, if you love vinyl, if you're curious about Record Store Day, Black Friday, we're going to demystify it all for you right now. Okay. So also I have a vinyl podcast. I mentioned that before, the Glacially Musical Podcast. We just did a whole series on Alice in Chains. We are doing a new series starting this week on Queensryche, and we spend a lot of time talking about buying vinyl, caring for your vinyl, finding vinyl in the wild, developments in the vinyl industry, how it relates to rock and metal bands, and sometimes the effects of the larger music community on the metal audience. So if that's what you're into, you go check out our podcast or the Glacially Musical Podcast. All right, first things first. The first vinyl I have to unbox that's brand new is not a Record Store Day Black Friday vinyl, but what it is it's new now. So this was just released on the 14th. Today, as I record, this is the 25th. And this is one of my most anticipated vinyl releases of the year. And this is A Day To Rremember. What Separates Me From You. This is the 15th anniversary limited edition reissue. This has been remixed, I believe, and remastered for vinyl. Produced by Chad Gilbert. And, A Day To Rremember is one of the biggest names in metalcore and really helped kind of proliferate this metallic hardcore in metalcore, right? And they do a great job with their reissues. They have put out a Record Store Day release every year for the last 3 out of 5 years, let's say. And they've sent us a few. Shout out again, all 3 of these releases today that I'm going to unbox on this video are from Craft Recordings, who we do a lot of stuff with. They do a lot of reissues, but they also buy the catalogs. They do catalog reissues. That's their specialty. And they team up with bands and, put out these incredible, they put out these incredible reissue packages. Not just the record itself, beautifully repressed and reprinted, but also a lot of fun stuff with it. So this is the 15th anniversary little limited edition, a gold certified album featuring All I Want, All Signs Point to Lauderdale, Second Sucks, and more. Special anniversary artwork plus a bonus acoustic take of All I Want, the big hit single, on transparent sea glass vinyl. I will confess that certain types of collectors are looking. Hey, Rubber Band Man, what's up, bro? We're talking about Record Store Day, Black Friday. I have 3 vinyls to unbox and look at, and then I'm going to talk about my pull list specifically for rock and metal and punk. So I got this A Day to Remember vinyl. It is not a Record Store Day Black Friday vinyl, but it is out now. You can get it at your favorite record store or from the band or from Craft Recordings. And shout out to Craft Recordings for always partnering with us and hooking it up. And of course, I don't have my little vinyl tool with me to open these things. So we're going to improvise because that's what we do, like MacGyver that shit. I grew up poor, so we learn how to do shit the hard way sometimes, but I'm effective at the very least. I could have opened these all up first. I didn't. I'm just trying to show you authentically how much I care about these things. All right. So A Day to Remember, pretty excellent band. Ghost Cult has covered them a few times. What's up, Rubber Band? What's up? I appreciate the DMs this week and last, my man. I don't know. Do you collect vinyl, Rubber Band Man? I was saying earlier, if you've got like a favorite in your collection or a particular band that you're passionate about or a Holy Grail record, I love talking about these. Maybe we'll jump on sometime and do a Holy Grail live stream and talk about the things I wish I had in my collection. I don't. I'm not one of these people that wants a certain original press about a certain year cut in a certain factory. I just want it to play well, so I tend to buy new stuff. Trans-Siberian Orchestra in Central Cali, sick. Big TSO fan. We have an interview with I also still have a ton of CDs, not as many as I used to. We interviewed Chris Caffrey about his solo album recently and TSO and a whole bunch of other Sabotage. Love to see Sabotage make a comeback at some point. So first things first, let's talk about this vinyl. It's in this metallic, beautiful silver sleeve. I don't think this had a vinyl release when it came out, and it's a pretty short album. Kind of like 11 songs. A Day to Remember is known for their brevity. They care about brevity. Anyway, comes with the insert sheet. This is pretty killer with the inside artwork and some credits. Very nice. Craft Recordings really cares about their vinyl. So this comes in the paper with the Mylar inside. I tell everybody, you want to get outside Mylar for your sleeves, and you want to get this inner Mylar to protect your vinyl from static and dust, not the papers. These, when they come just with the paper, you throw them out. So let's take a look at this beautiful. This is a sea glass green. This looks fucking dope. I'm going to hold it over my face a little bit so everybody can see it. Fucking dope. I can't wait. This beautifully pressed. This thing looks, it's brand new. So of course it's immaculate. Again, I don't buy a lot of things that are not brand new. Once in a while I'll find something. I found a used Led Zeppelin vinyl. Wasn't mint, but it was pretty fucking sweet, I gotta say. And if it was mint, it would have been worth like $400, but I was just stoked to have it. As much as I love Led Zeppelin, I don't have a lot of Led Zeppelin on vinyl. We're going to talk about Led Zeppelin when I do the pull list, because there's a Zeppelin release for Record Store Day Black Friday. Second release sent to me by Craft Recordings coming out this Friday. This is a Record Store Day Black Friday. And this is Punk Goes Acoustic, limited edition Black Friday record release on translucent yellow vinyl, Thrice, Yellow Card, Sugar Cult, Finch, Thursday, The Starting Line, The Ataris, Taking Back Sunday, Rise Against, and Rufio. The Punk Goes series is extremely popular with your Gen Z and Alpha emos and elder emos and young emos. You know, I like some of these bands. I love Rise Against, and I like Thursday and Yellow Card and Thrice quite a lot. The Ataris are always solid. Taking Back Sunday is great. Starting lines decent. Sugar Cult and Finch are okay. I know that I'm not the demographic they're going for, but you know what you're gonna do. Boston Mafuck is here. What's up? Rumbadil Pickle is here. What's up? Whoa, it's Kells. How are you? Great to see people popping in on the TikTok. So I'm gonna open this guy up. And again, shout out always to Craft Recordings for looking out for us and you know, humbling us with some stuff. I have quite a lot of vinyl videos to do. So then the question becomes, I need to write reviews of these albums, but I also need to do content. I hate that word, but I need to make content around these things. What would you prefer? Would you like these live streams, or would you prefer me to professionally record these and have my partner edit them and then share them there? That's always a possibility with these. I do try to, I ripped the hype sticker. I do try to keep these intact. Okay. So here's the Punk Goes Acoustic. Pretty killer. And again, Craft Recordings always doing a nice job on these with the packaging. All of these are probably on streaming. Of course, the Day to Remember album is been on streaming for some time. Once again, with the insert, it's got the track listing. If you're curious, I can read it. It's got a little info on it. Thrice, Trust, Yellow Card, Firewater, probably one of their best songs. Sugar Cult, Memory. Finch, Letters to You, their big classic. Thursday, A Hole in the World. Recorded at the great Big Blue Meanie Studios in New Jersey we used to go to when I was a kid. The Starting Line, Playing Favorites, the Ataris, 8 of 9. Taking Back Sunday, Cute Without the E, You Know What's Up, cut from the team. Rise Against, Swing Life Away, one of their best songs, and of course they do it unplugged sometimes. And Rufio, Over It. Not too familiar with them, Rufio. Maybe I have the accent wrong. Foo Fighters. And again, in the paper with the Mylar inside. If it's just the plain paper, throw it away. Rip it up and throw it away. But if it's the paper with the Mylar, you want it. All right. And then here's this beautiful translucent yellow with the center kind of hollowed out there. Gorgeous looking, huh? Nice. A nice change of pace when I'm not listening to death metal or whatever else the fuck I'm listening to. And then last and never least, do not laugh, but I have my first ever vinyl from the band Creed. And why would you, Creed gets a lot of shit, but I feel like people secretly, it's like Limp Bizkit and Nickelback. Secretly, people love this band. I understand not everybody is down with religion, and Creed is definitely, very overtly religious, especially Scott Stapp has been their front person. But I feel like this, first of all, not only is this a Creed live album, which I don't believe they had an official live release, this is like right from the peak early hits of Creed, their first record or two. And so this was like a very bootleg LimeWire release back in the day. Creed live in San Antonio from their 1999 tour. So this features Are You Ready, Ode, Torn, Beautiful, Illusion, Say I, My Own Prison, What If, With Arms Wide Open, Faceless Man, What's This Life For, One, and Higher. November 4th, 1999, recorded at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas. I'll tell you, man, Creed's comeback has been nothing short of surprising. And if they were ever to put out a new record and it was good, it would probably do gangbusters. They have sold out, I think, 4 cruises and 2 North American tours of every date sold out. So, it's been wild to see amphitheaters and arenas. Again, I think a lot of people make fun of Creed, but I think, Creed, if I'm in the mood for Creed, I won't be mad if it comes on. I don't put it on, but I won't be mad if it comes on. And now I have a Creed on vinyl, which I have never had. But like I said, I'm sitting on a lot of stuff. If you've been watching our other videos, I got sent the Smashing Pumpkins ginormous Melancholy box set, 6 LP box set. I have to do something. I have to review it and do some stuff around it. So here's the Creed vinyl, Creed Live in the double gatefold, like Kiss with the big photo, the back cover with the song tracks, and then here's the inside stuff. So let's see. Again, vinyl 1. And vinyl too. Try to be careful extricating these things. I'm going to damage them. No insert here, but that's okay. Oh, these are fun. These are hella fun. Let's see. Okay. I believe this is like a smoky clear vinyl, smoke pattern vinyl. Look at this, guys. Hella nice, right? Beautiful. I think this is pretty killer. So if you've got a Creed fan in your life, or you are that Creed fan in your life, maybe this one is for you on Record Store Day Black Friday. So just to explain a little bit more about it, again, Record Store Day Black Friday was created to bring people into stores, and not necessarily, people to keep local record stores alive. And a whole consortium of small businesses felt like they were not getting enough people to come in, and so they banded together. And then what happened is the bigger part of the music industry saw that and was like, oh, what a cool opportunity for every record store in the world to be part of this. But, there's some definite downsides to it. And on our other podcast, the Glacially Musical Podcast, we have talked about why and what this is. So now that I did the 3 unboxings, and they were all pretty banging, and I'm appreciative of having all of them, and I'll get some reviews out soon. Let's talk about my pull list. But I also want to say, just here's how most record store days do Black Friday. Scooter's here. What's up, Scooter? A little midweek frivolity. I'm talking about Record Store Day Black Friday. I just unboxed 3 vinyls that were sent to me early. Not one was not strictly a Record Store Day Black Friday release. And I have some other Black Friday ones. Whippy World. Join the conversation. Anyway, we're talking about vinyl. Anyway, so what record stores generally do, if some of them are participating where it's limited, right? These are limited releases. Some of them have many thousands of releases, some of them very few. But the main thing is the bigger record stores will have you come in at midnight. So Thanksgiving night at midnight or earlier in the evening, line up, get a number or give in your list, and then come back the next day and pick up your records or come in and shop for whatever's left. Other record stores are just kind of operating like any other Friday, open at their regular hours. And if they got any of the Record Store Day records, then they'll gladly sell you them. So, some people like myself, I don't necessarily love the competitive nature of that. And I like finding records in the stacks. That's how my routine is. I go to the record store. I know what I have. I know what I don't have. And if I'm looking for something new, I might pick up something new. In the past, it seems like we have talked about on the other show that Record Store Day kind of needs to change. Because what you'll see is there's a lot of these kind of lives, things that used to be considered bootlegs, but now they're official by the band, live records and unplugs and remixes and certain things and weird one-offs. And I just don't know if the regular record buying fan wants this. And I also don't know if you're getting extra new people to come in because of these things. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But here's the pull list I put together of metal, rock, and punk and some other things that I might be interested in, and maybe you will be too. So I got Punk Goes Acoustic, I got the Creed, and now for the pull list. And let's talk about these things for a second. First off, and probably my number 1 and 2 things that I'm looking to get is Season to Risk. This is their 30th anniversary album. I am super stoked on. I love this band. We have a recent interview with Steve of Season to Risk. This is In a Perfect World, put out in 1995. This is the 30th anniversary, out on Spartan Records. They already had a new record earlier. It's one of my favorite records of the year, 1-800-Meltdown. I saw the band multiple times on this tour these first few years. Originally produced by Martin BC, who I've interviewed before, one of the greatest producers in early avant-garde alternative rock and metal. Sonic Youth, Swans, Helmet, classic Helmet records. Baby blue vinyl. It's only 1,500 copies. Don't know if the stores I'm going to get to will have it, but I'm looking for this number one with a bullet. And then this other one is super interesting. Pelican is putting out a 3 LP collection of 2 of their records, What We've All Come to Need and Ephemeral. This is on Southern Lord, 1,600. Again, not that many when you think of the thousands of record stores probably participating in Record Store Day. So What We All Come to Need is the 4th album from the post-metal icons Pelican, originally released in 2009. It's their most popular album in the band's catalog, and it's been out of print on vinyl for a decade. So this has been coming for a long time. Plus, the exclusive deluxe version contains the EP that preceded the album, Ephemeral, which I love. Dylan Carlson of Earth on guitar for the band's interpretation or interpolation of the Earth track Geometry of Murder, which is probably the best Earth track. The Ephemeral EP has been unavailable on vinyl for 15 years. I certainly never had it. So I would love to have this. It's probably going to be 60 or 70 bucks, honestly, for 3 LPs, basically, for an EP and an LP together, which, you know, could be cost prohibitive to some people. But I'm into it. I'm super into it. So let's see. That's number 1 and 2 on my list personally. And number 1 and 2 with a bullet. If I could only get one of them, I would really love to have the Season to Risk. But if I could get both, that will be a win. Also, for metalheads and rockers, Slow Burn, Amusing the Amazing, and Municipal Waste, Massive Aggressive. So Slow Burn, in case you didn't know, is one of the most important bands in the stoner rock genre. If you've been following these live streams, you know that I have been doing a lot of stuff with the Mojave Experience. And Slow Burn singer is John Garcia of Caius, as well as Unita and a bunch of other things. Caius Lives that he had. And so Slow Burn, this album's amazing. I was a huge fan of this. I had it on cassette back in the day. Only 1,500. Amusing the Amazing is a 4-song EP by American stoner rock band Slow Burn, originally released in 1997 by Malicious Vinyl. Band is fronted by John Garcia, included guitarist Chris Hayes, bassist Damon Garrison, and drummer Brady Houghton. Co-produced by Slow Burn and Chris Goss of Masters of Reality, who, 6 Degrees of Separation, we interviewed Chris Goss this year. Fucking Slayer is also here. Blue October is here. Elizabeth has passed by. Thank you for being by. I appreciate you all. This is amazing and, you know, kind of a need to have if you're a stoner rock fan and a stoner metal fan. Also, Municipal Waste, Massive Aggressive, one of their best albums. This is a vinyl re-release, 15th anniversary vinyl re-release. I believe Municipal Waste is kind of on a hiatus for 2025. They have put out vinyl for their last bunch of albums, but this is pretty fucking rad. I wouldn't be mad at picking this up for a reasonable price. And what I consider a reasonable price for a Record Store Day release is $25 to $35 for a, you know, 25 bucks for at least a single LP, and for a double vinyl LP, 35 to 40 tops, unless it's something really rare or special, which some of these aren't, as I've talked about. So, also on my list, not high in priority, but maybe for you, In Flames has a live release, and this is fairly interesting. This is 2024 live album, making an exclusive Record Store Day release. I have my notes here somewhere. Here it is. Breathing Fire, In Flames Live 2024, limited to 2,250 records, so it's a little more. Recorded over the band's 2024 worldwide tour, which I sold them, supporting their latest full-length record, Foregone, which was fucking badass, one of our top albums of the year last year. Breathing Fire, In Flames Live 2024 is a limited edition picture disc with some of the band's most popular tracks, officially limited to 4,500 worldwide, which means 2,250 are in record stores and 2,250 are available from Nuclear Blast. Now, what I will tell you, and you'll hear me say this often, I don't love picture discs. We talk a lot on the Glacially Musical podcast. I know picture discs look cool and they're marketed as this cool thing to have. I don't love them. They don't necessarily sound any better. And I think that you know, they don't make me need to have one. TKK Freedom is here. Thanks for liking the live. Appreciate you. Pissing Razors, what up, what up? We're talking about some Record Store Day Black Friday stuff. Another record coming out with a release for Record Store Day Black Friday is Ghost Skeleton, the picture disc version. 5,000 copies. Are they going to sell 5,000 of these? Maybe they think they are, because Ghost is hella popular and their fan base is insane. I saw one of the first Ghost shows ever in America, and we had the first English language interview with Tobias. So I'm really proud of that when we had a magazine. Ghost's sixth song, Skeleton, is its most unflinchingly introspective work to date. Previous albums dealt largely with chronicling and observing the outward-facing world. Skeleton's lyrics remain distinct, individual motion vistas of each of its 10 songs in a one-on-one fashion, as if a dialogue with oneself in a mirror. Very pretentious description. Limited edition picture disc vinyl presented exclusively for Record Store Day Black Friday. It means it's only available in record stores. No extra tracks. Don't need a picture disc. If you haven't picked this up and you like Ghost, maybe you should get this. I already have, I think, a purple mist vinyl version of this. So I am good, yo. But maybe you want it. Maybe you love Ghost and you want to buy everything they make. Led Zeppelin Trampled Underfoot. This is interesting. This was supposed to come out in September, and then they pulled it back. It was available on Amazon very briefly, and then they canceled orders, and they decided to make it a Record Store Day Black Friday issue. Now, what this is a 50th anniversary reissue of the single of Trampled Underfoot. Now, I was a little kid when this record came out originally. Do I need this? No. There's going to be 6,100 of these at Record Store Day Black Friday. If I see it and it's reasonably priced, I will get it. If it's like $40 for 2 tracks, I will not get it. It's supposed to be lovingly recreated from the original Swan Song 45. That sounds cool to me, 7-inch. I would like to have it, but not at a high price. The original UK 7-inch. Side 1, Trampled Underfoot. Side 2, Black Country Woman. This has to be fairly priced for it to matter. Shut up, Meg. What up, Meg? How are you? I'm talking about Record Store Day Black Friday. I love Led Zeppelin. I just told a story about getting that In Through the Outdoor miraculously almost mint. I don't need this if it's not fairly priced. That's some of the problem with Record Store Day and Record Store Day Black Friday. Moving on. More rock and heavy metal. Alice Cooper live. This is an interesting one. A lot of Record Store Day stuff is live. And we'll have some more live ones to talk about in just a second. But so this is Alice Cooper. This was like in the LimeWire BearShare era, like one of the most bootleg things. And this was like a bootleg videotape and a bootleg cassette tape and CD for years and years. I used to see this on eBay. Welcome to My Nightmare, live from the Forum in LA, 6/17/1975. So peak Alice Cooper and Alice Cooper Band. 50th anniversary of Welcome to My Nightmare, the debut. Great set list. I remember listening to this. One of the most over-the-top tours of all time. Great set list. All the big hits. Couple of deep cuts, but mostly the big stuff. It has kind of everything. So I think everything is on here except, everything is on. Everything you would want is on here. I just saw Alice. And except for a few more modern songs, all of this was represented just about in the set list. So, I mean, if you love Alice, and I don't think he's had an official live, maybe he's had one live album officially, this might be the one for you. I would probably get this if I come across it. And I think it'll probably be $35 to $40, but I would buy it. Also coming out for Record Store Day Black Friday, Rockology by Eric Carr. There's also a second Eric Carr release. So Eric Carr had 2 solo albums, and what happened is Eric Carr's sister, who's the sort of executor of his estate from his death. A lot of people don't know this. Eric Carr of Kiss. Thanks, Meg. I love your face too. I appreciate you. I know it's late, and I appreciate you messaging me. It's been a tough week, but I'm thankful. If I have to get bad news, it's from you. Send my best to Justin. Eric Carr passed away the same day as Freddie Mercury, and Gene has always been, he loved Queen, and Kiss toured with Queen, and he just felt that, like, Eric Carr's death was overshadowed, of course, because of Freddie Mercury. And but Eric Carr, incredible drummer, played on a lot of the '80s Kiss stuff. His drumming was incredible. His drumming on Creatures of the Night is amazing. The rest of the '80s Kiss stuff is not that good, but it's not because of him. And his solo stuff featured Bruce Kulick from Kiss up and through the mid '90s before the reunion. And so this Rockology is meant to look like the Kiss solo albums that came out in 1978. So they fashioned it with the orange aura that the Fox makeup had, and is worked with Kiss to get their permission to make it look like another Kiss solo album. This is, you can get this for like no money on, like, very cheaply, but maybe not the best copy quality on eBay and Discogs. But this is like liquid filled vinyl. You're seeing a lot of this now. Slayer did a blood one. Gore did a snot green one. Rob Zombie has a snot green one, or John 5, I think. I don't need a liquid filled vinyl. It looks cool when it plays. Does it make it sound any better? No, it might actually make it sound worse, which I am sorry for. Thanks for showing us some love, Pissing Razors. I love seeing that. Thank you, man. And so, yeah, if you're a diehard Kiss fan, especially because Ace just died and it might be like top of mind for you, maybe go get this. I don't need it. If I see it and it's cheap, maybe I'll get it. But I don't need to have it, And there's 2 Eric Carr records out. One's a picture disc and one is this liquid filled vinyl. I don't know. Speaking of live albums no one asked for, Ramones, live 1977. Now, I am the person, as you can see behind me, there's a Ramones flag right over my head. I love the Ramones. I'm from New York City. I played CBGBs. I worship the Ramones. I saw them a couple of times. And I got to be honest, every record store day has a live Ramones and a live Motorhead. There's a live Motorhead on this one, and I didn't even include it because I don't need it. Gorgeous looking red color, mixed from the soundboard, remastered for vinyl. Cool. If you love the Ramones and you have one live Ramones record, you don't need them all. If you don't have any live Ramones records or no Ramones records, I always say that a greatest hits or a live concert is a great way to experience a band and then decide, oh, I need to get these Ramones. I always say you need the first 4 or 5 Ramones records and nothing else. But that's me. Also, this is a little more interesting, is this Bad Brains live at the Bayou. So this is a brand new, never heard before, discovered live concert from 1981 at the Bayou Club in Washington, D.C. This is the show after the show they were banned at, when they were banned from a different club. And then they made Banned in D.C. So this is before Banned in D.C. comes out. This is before any Bad Brains album is released. And this might be interesting to have. Now, I'm sure the quality is not going to be great, but if you're a historian or you love punk rock, and again, Ramones, Bad Brains, Cro-Mags, Agnostic Front, old school hardcore, and punk, this is kind of where it all begins for American punk. And, maybe go get this Bad Brains record. I'd be interested to hear it, just to hear how they are playing the songs arranging-wise before they end up on the record. That would be interesting to me. But again, how much is this going to cost us on a brand new record label, which always makes me a little nervous. But the guy apparently loves the band, and that's cool. So good luck on that one. I'm trying to see if I have the how many is available information. Here it is. 2,500. So not that many, only in stores, 2 LP, Time Traveler Recordings, a brand new label. So always makes me a little nervous, but Live at the Bayou showcases some of the earliest live performances from Bad Brains and predates their 82 self-titled debut. Snapshot of the band's burgeoning beginnings. These previously unreleased recordings from 1881, recorded at the Bayou in Washington, D.C., were captured between the band being unofficially banned and relocating to New York City. Historically significant time. I think Rollins was at one of these shows, too, as a fan. He left his job at Haagen-Dazs and went to this show, and he never came back. This is one of the first non-jazz releases by the newly formed Time Traveler Records. Limited edition 180-gram 2LP transferred from the original tapes and mastered by Don Zientara. Very cool, very cool. Great set list on here, too. 15 songs, probably in like 25 minutes. Wah, wah. All right. Moving right along. Hey, Skullbasher's here. What's up, Skullbasher? And Tracy, you got a fun screen name. I'm going to shout it out. This is pretty cool. I don't know if you are familiar with the thrash metal band Otto. Otto is the band with 3 T's that features Robert Trujillo's son, Ty. You probably know Ty Trujillo from being the bassist of Suicidal Tendencies. He's also done several tours as the fill-in bassist with Korn. And Otto is a crossover thrash band in the vein of Suicidal Tendencies from Venice Beach, where they live. And this is the Sweaty Pool EP and features a song. These are all 4 new originals. The band has put out a few Record Store Day Black Friday releases, a Record Store Day and Record Store Day Black Friday. I have one of them. And, they are kind of generally considered the best of the bands of the children of Metallica. And Sweaty Pool does feature a song with Nick Oliveri, formerly of Caius and Queens of the Stone Age, on lead vocals. So that's kind of interesting. And as an EP, it might be reasonably priced, like $25 or something. 20 or $25. So I might get this if I saw it, but we'll see. Do you like Post Malone and Post Malone's country albums? Well, Post Malone's most recent country album, like F1 Million or whatever the fuck it's called, is coming out for an exclusive Black Friday release. Posty is one of the Record Store Day ambassadors for the year. Again, I talked about these pop stars. I think the appetite to have these records is not there, because I was at the record store just a few weeks ago, and they still can't get rid of the Record Store Day and Record Store Day Black Friday stuff from 24, which had like Post Malone and Chappell Roan, who has an album coming out for Record Store Day Black Friday. So I just don't know in terms of the value. But if you love Posty and you didn't get this on vinyl yet, get this. Okay, just a few more. Not a one for me, but Van Halen live at Wembley Stadium 1995. I am on record as not being a fan of Sammy Hagar. I know some people love Sammy Hagar much more than David. He's a better singer. It's like Dio and Ozzy. I don't love Sammy Hagar. That being said, if you love Sammy Hagar, this concert from 1995, Van Halen has very few live records officially. So them kind of co-signing this release is very interesting. And it does have a banger set list. I looked. And, maybe this is a thing for you if you're a Van Halen completist. A lot of people love Edward. His guitar playing is incredible. 6,000 copies. Who's going to buy this? I don't think there are 6,000 Sammy Hagar fans to me, but okay. Live from Wembley, 1995, spotlights Van Halen live in concert from London's Wembley Stadium on the Balance Tour. The explosive 8-song performance recorded on June 24th, 1995, and pressed on translucent orange crushed vinyl. Features an anthemic mix of the band's biggest hits and deep cuts. Not even that many songs, to be honest with you. Ew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs on 2 LPs. Yikes. Okay. Cool, guys. It does have a guitar solo. I don't need this, but if you love Van Hagar, good on you. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. But okay. Also, this is kind of interesting. Lou Reed's Metal Machine Music is one of the most polarizing albums of all time. Blue Witch is here. Hi, Blue Witch. Maybe you love it, maybe you don't. This is an avant-garde tribute album to Metal Machine Music. It does feature Pharmakon, who is like an avant-garde black metal band, as well as Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth, who has played on some black metal records and is a fan of the genre. So, this might be like the one delivery system, the one tribute album. There's been a lot of tribute albums this year, and most of them have been excellent, and I'll talk about some in a future live stream, but this is curious, because I'm one of the few people that likes Lou Reed and likes Metal Machine Music, but also, Lou Reed, I know he passed away. Lulu is terrible. Just no way around it. I love Metallica, but Lulu sucks, man. But if you've ever been curious about Metal Machine Music, maybe this is the time. This might be the time to get into it. I don't know. All right. What else we got? Dying Fetus. Things I did not ask for, but I'm getting. Into the Cesspool, Record Store Day, Black Friday, single. Why? Why is this happening? Okay. Fetus has had an interesting year, brand new album this year. 1,000 of these are being pressed on a special shaped picture disc, I think in the shape of the hand. Brand new unreleased Dying Fetus song on a shaped picture disc, Into the Cesspool. I don't know who loves Dying Fetus and that their favorite band is Dying Fetus. Maybe this is for you. This is not for me, but I wanted to do the list in full as competently as I possibly could. If you didn't jump off of here with Creed, you didn't jump off yet. Moving right along. Billy Joel live from Long Island. Not metal, but I love Billy Joel. Somebody did Miami 2017, and I thought to myself, Billy Joel predicted 9/11, the blackout, the apocalypse, the market crash, everything. That dude is onto something. Or on something. Billy Joel live on Long Island. So this is a wild card for me. I love Billy Joel. He has many live albums. A handful of them are on vinyl. Do I need this is the question. And how much is it going to be? Because it's 3 LPs. So that means it's going to cost a lot of money. Like I'm guessing 70 or 80 bucks. For 70 or 80 bucks, I don't need it. But if it's hanging around for a while, maybe I'll get it. It's only going to be on 1,500 pressings, 1,500, quantity, 3 LP, Legacy Recordings always does a great job, whatever they do. The Classic Nylon Curtain Tour, Homecoming Concert at Nassau Coliseum, December 29th, 1982, now available as a standalone 3 LP set, newly mixed from the original master tapes and produced by Billy's longtime live sound engineer, Brian Ruggles. That's really cool. And as a fan, I might need this. It's got a great set list, 6 LP sides on 3 LPs. Not a lot of, a bit of flipping, but not too bad. Pretty damn great. And a great set list, to be honest. But okay, before his big 80s hits, all his 70s hits and turn of the decade 1980 hits. Pretty badass. Anyway, and Fleetwood Mac Live 75. This is pretty interesting. Fleetwood Mac's having kind of a time. I think a lot of kids are discovering their parents' Fleetwood Mac records now. And this is like one of the first concerts they ever did, or first tours they ever did with Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks in the band. So it's like that first pull of that first record with the two of them joining the band and really transformed the band into this powerhouse pop rock band. Might be necessary if you're a big completist. And I believe it was I believe it's like not just a bootleg release, it's an official release. Getting a lot of love. Let's see. 5,000 of these, so it surely won't be hard to find. 50 years ago at the Capitol Theater in Passaic, October 17, 1975, and the Jorgensen Auditorium at the University of Connecticut, Storrs, Connecticut, August 25th, 1975, band that had all-time recent hits, Rhiannon and Landslide, some of the first performances of those, and some deep cuts and fan favorites like Hypnotized and Oh Well, pressed on vinyl for the very first time. Green Manalishi in the set list. That's pretty rad. I hope Stevie sings it. Lindsay would probably do a good job with it too. Green Manalishi with the 2-prong crown. Bow, 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 bow. Winding this down, a couple of others, maybe not so much a big deal for you, but I think just getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently, Warren Zevon Epilogue live at the Edmonton Folk Festival. This might be one for curious people. If you don't want to go and buy whole Warren Zevon albums, this might be a good one to get started with. And then Witch, this is not to be confused with the Doom Metal Witch. This is the African Zamrock band Witch. If you're into some world music and you want to expand your horizons beyond classic rock and metal, this is a fun band you should check out. I've heard them before. And this is a compilation of their classic songs. And then last and never least, a couple more. Watchmen is pretty much in my top 5 of all comic book movies, superhero movies. I do love the soundtrack. I don't need a picture disc, as I mentioned, but pretty fucking cool. I've never had the vinyl. I will have to go. I think Record Store Day 2 or 3 years ago had the full score, and that I'm probably going to go look for and talk about that in a minute. But this is the new picture disc version out for this weekend. Also, Big Top Pee Wee Herman with the Paul Rubens documentary, getting a lot of love now. And that's also a picture disc I do not need, but the Danny Elfman Big Top Pee Wee soundtrack slaps. If you're thinking about the holidays, I know I don't think about Christmas until Thanksgiving is over, but my all-time favorite Christmas record is A Charlie Brown Christmas by Vince Guaraldi Trio. This is a new 60th anniversary pop-up version. So you open the thing and it opens up like a pop-up holiday card. I have the older reissue of this on vinyl from a few years back. I love it. I would never get another one. But if you don't have this, you need this. And also, Devo, Marry Something to You. This is about 16 years old, a single picture disc with a Cyclops Santa Claus. Devo, as only Devo can do. Do I need this? No. If it was cheap, I would buy it, but I don't need to go spend high money on this thing as much as I love Devo. Motley Crue Home Sweet Home 12-inch single. Who asked for this? I certainly did not. And one record is not loving Motley Crue as much as everybody else does. I think Vince is not a good singer. Home Sweet Home is a banger. I love this song. I don't need to own this. I think a greatest hits Motley Crue on vinyl is probably a good investment, so you don't have to listen to all the records. But yeah, 2,500 on a 12-inch picture disc. I don't need any of these. Home Sweet Home original, Home Sweet Home featuring Dolly Parton. Why do you have to drag Dolly's name through the mud? I know she loves the song. Home Sweet Home 91, Home Sweet Home live again, Home Sweet Home demo, and Home Sweet Home just the instrumental. Good Lord, I don't want this. And I love Dolly Parton, and I love this song, but I don't need any of this. All right. And then, let's see, last and never least, let's talk about after Record Store Day. So you can't go to Record Store Day. You're busy, you're full from turkey, you're busy, your family drains your emotional battery, and you can't live with the world. Devo Christmas, I'm telling you, I want a whole Devo Christmas album. Let's say you get to Friday, and it's like, I can't go to the store today. And plus Black Friday. Why the fuck would I venture outside of my house and deal with these Nimrods killing each other over toys and stupid shit? I have a handful of people I'm going to get gifts for this holiday, and that's it. Record Store Day smartly launched this thing called Record Store Day Market. It's a microsite where you can search all the inventory of all the independent record stores and find stuff that they still have that you missed out on. So it's great to fill in gaps in your collection and get stuff you don't have already, and also super cool to find stuff you missed, or my store didn't have this thing. Does anyone else have this thing? Bing, bang, boom. So I'm a big fan of Record Store Day Market. I have bought a few things from them that come from record stores. Your money is going to record stores, and it's just helping everybody. So that's kind of my deal on Record Store Day, Black Friday. Like I said, I'd like to see it evolve into something else, change for the better for the fans, make it geared more toward what we really want and not what they think we want. And I really, I get that they want to drive people into the stores and maybe make them repeat customers. And that's my wish for all of you to do, is to go into your favorite record stores and shop small and buy their stuff. But, some of the stuff offered is not necessarily worth it, even if you have money to spare. So I say shop wisely, shop small, and think of your community. When you spend money locally, you're helping out yourself in the best possible way. And if you can only get something you want from a big store, I get that also. And I understand, because I also sometimes buy stuff from the big stores. And that's our show. I will be back tomorrow afternoon with the early version of the weekly ritual on Wednesday, not on Thursday. And we'll be dropping a new interview in the morning and podcasts all week and all that jazz. Thanks for being here. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a safe and happy holiday. Don't drink and drive. But I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with the ritual. Thanks everybody who chimed in. Scooter, Rubber Band Man, Pissing Razors, Lungs in Ruin, everybody that popped in the chat, Gary Collingwood. I appreciate all of you so much, and I'll see you soon. Peace and shop small.